Hey everybody, welcome to The Shed. In this video, I want to share a really dangerous intersection in the Woodstock neighborhood that I just checked out yesterday. The reason I did this story is because back in June, a reader emailed me to sort of flag a lot of their concerns, and I finally was able to follow up with them and head out there. I want to read to you an email from Craig Doherty, who sent us this back in June. I have lived at this intersection for 6 years, and I've personally witnessed about 12 car accidents, including one last October in which my house and my neighbor's house were struck by a car. Before I lived here, my house had been struck at least once before. A week after our houses were struck, a vehicle crashed into a house across the street. Last night, my neighbor's car was destroyed when yet another vehicle lost control. In addition to poor signage, there are no crosswalks, no ADA compliance, and the bike lane just peters out directly in the most dangerous part of the intersection. We have been brushed off by P-Bot and don't know what to do. So I went out to take a closer look.
My name is Craig Doherty. I live right near the corner of 69th and Southeast Woodstock Boulevard. We have quite a dangerous corner here. There have been almost 10 collisions with houses since I've lived here in the last 7 years. And other traffic incidents, including my next door neighbor's car was destroyed. I see people trying to cross this corner with their kids, and I cringe every single time. You're headed eastbound on Woodstock from 52nd, which is the last stoplight before coming this way. It's really easy to pick up speed on this long straightaway, and people just get distracted during that time and don't realize that there's a dangerous corner coming up.
Just describe a couple of the crashes that like you've seen or heard about on the corner.
I'll start with the one that struck my house. I was in bed, it was late on a Saturday night, and I heard what I've heard before, which is a car skidding on freshly wet pavement. It was Halloween. It was just before Halloween, so it was kind of the first rain of the season. But in this case, I heard the car accelerate after the skidding instead of skid to a stop. And you could hear the engine revving, and I could hear the Doppler effect of the car, moving by. And then my house just shook like a bomb had gone off. And I knew my house had been struck at that moment. So I got up and put on my robe and my pajamas and came down to look to see if everyone was okay. And I looked out my front door and I didn't see anything. I was like, there's no car here. What happened? And then I heard some voices off to the left, and I looked and I saw the car had gone completely through the corner of my garage and well into my backyard, through the fence and into my neighbor's backyard. Oh yeah, this house right here, a van went through the telephone pole and into their living room. You've seen this fence right here. This was just last week or 2 weeks ago. Across the street, which you can't see from here, their whole front porch and stairs were wiped out. I want to say I feel let down by the city, but I don't think that's the case. I just think, we haven't been loud enough about it yet.
Anything else you want people to know about this intersection?
Drive slowly, please.
I feel like a lot of neighbors, it's just become numb to them, or they roll their eyes and they're like, yeah, Woodstock's gotten too busy, we're probably going to move, that type of sentiment. And it's like, that's kind of sad to hear coming from your neighbors, like that they've given up. It's kind of like developing PTSD a little bit. Like you hear a noise and you almost always think it's an accident or a crash.
What have you seen over the years happen on this street as a result of how it's designed?
There was a car that went into our yard, and then shortly after that went into another house, and then you can see down there that house has been hit maybe like 5 times.
So tell me what happened in your house.
Yeah, well, it was in the middle of the night, and our dog heard a loud noise, so it woke us up. And I looked out in the front, didn't see anything. And as I was walking back to go to bed, I heard a noise coming from the side yard. You don't ever expect a car crashed in your property, but that's what happened. Just shortly after that, my car was totaled, and it was parked out here.
Like a separate incident.
Separate incident. And then also bicyclists. It just, the bike lane just peters out, and there's just like one sign that says that. And also crossing the street here is really dangerous. You know, during the day, during the night, you can't really see if there's a car coming until you're like crossing the street. It seems like the further east you go, more and more is ignored. And I think as Woodstock is growing, I think there needs to be more done about this corner. Hopefully there isn't going to be another crash, but until something else is done, there will be more.